And we're back with some more Prison Architect. And today we're going to be solving some problems. Well, a very specific problem. You see, right now we're making lots of money paroling people. It's about an extra 30 grand a day. It's quite a tasty little sum. And that doesn't affect our daily cash flow of days without incident. Also, snitches, well, okay, the downside is snitches get stabbed and killed. And it's been pointed out to me that that's going to end up with a bunch of murderers in the prison who've killed the snitches, and that's going to affect their parole opportunities. For example, if we click on Shelley here and go to their grading, their security is good. Let me find a killer here. For example, Dan King here has committed 2 murders in the prison. That gives him 8 penalty points. He's also got 4 penalty points for being involved in violent incidents. And even though we've locked him up a bunch and their punishment and reform scores are quite high, they're nowhere close to the 30% reoffend rate that they'd need to have the chance of getting parole. They need to be around 30%, otherwise they can't get a parole chance. So say someone here like Austin, they're at 17%. Estimated reoffense chance, nice and low. This one here, again, 34%. However, we'd need to crank up their punishment a bit. They're still potentially savable, but they've already committed murder 1 time. And we're going to end up with more and more murderers in our prison who have committed lots and lots of violence. Like this prisoner here has 0 chance of ever being reformed. They're maxed out on punishment and reform, but their security and health are so low they're never getting out of here. We need a way to deal with that clogging up the system, and the comments have come to the rescue. So it turns out there's these walls called barred walls, and barred walls, well, okay, it sounds like I'm saying the word barred as in the musician. No, it's a wall with bars in it. And why is there so many prison buses coming in today? We're really that short of people? You know what? Doesn't matter. But that should allow us to shoot through walls. So what we're going to do is we are going to replace all of the walls along here with bars. In fact, we're probably going to do the same over here as well later on. But for now, we're going to make the prisons with these see-through bars so that we can use our guards to shoot through the walls if any of our prisoners kick up a fuss. This should save us a whole bunch on risk on this maximum security area. What we've done down here is make all of the walls out of bars. Well, except for the ones beside the doors, because for some reason it looked really weird if you had it that way. But anyway, what we've got here is a bunch of really terrible cells, because we want to check to see if you can fire through the bars, so we want to give them some terrible cells so that they definitely rebel. Alright, let's throw together a few. Actually, I think we'll just make them normal cells for now. Right, the plan here is pretty simple. We're going to let these people out of solitary and instead put them into regular cells. For example, they're currently set to solitary confinement forever. We're going to end their punishment, which means they should be transferred over to a regular cell. However, we do have to make a few changes there. Yeah, we'll get the legendary guy in a second, but the change we do have to make is to their schedules. We don't want them getting out of their cells, and I have been advised in the comments of a quick way to make sure that that doesn't happen. We simply go over to maximum security, and we set it to lockup. So, yep, there, and there, all the way down. No need for eating or free time or anything. Not even a 23-hour lockdown. We got a 24-hour lockdown on everyone who's in maximum security. Yeah, oh, actually, wait, super max, not maximum security. Perfect. There we go. And this crowd over here, actually, let's get rid of that. Oh, I'll set maximum security back to normal for now. This allows us to transfer all the prisoners over, hopefully without any of them becoming violent. Come on, transfer them down. Now, once they're in these cells, the back of the cells are open. So, well, the bars are here, so these troops and these guards should be able to shoot through the walls. Now, let's just extend the deployment. We're going to take all of those patrols, and we're just going to move them on. There we go. So now the patrolling troop should come around, and if this guy ever goes nuts, he will get tased. Oh, and we should probably move Stubbs while we're at it. Oh, fine, we'll end his punishment too. That guy's just incredibly violent, so we got to be careful with him. We're going to move them all over. Once they're in the cells, if they cause any trouble, they should be able to be tased without anyone getting in there. Yeah, there's going to be no recreation for you. Oh, look at that. They tased him right through the wall. No one even had to go in. Okay, that's part 1. Next one, free fire. Okay, so in the Supermax area, everyone is allowed to free fire. So all of these troops that have guns, they can actually shoot prisoners instead of just using tasers. That's going to make it much easier to take care of any problems. Let's see how that works out. Also, we definitely want to make sure these guys rebel, so I wonder if we can turn off food for them. That would definitely speed things along. Oh, Stubb started something and then immediately got shot. He's unconscious, and is he going to recover from that? Tell you what, though. What if we were to, say, lock that shut? Doctors can't get in, so in theory he should just bleed out. Eventually. Ugh. Damn it, though, we still have to... The water is going to cause a problem. It's fine, actually. The water stopped spreading. If it causes any problems, we'll figure it out. But for now, let's leave that a day or two and see if he actually bleeds out in there. It would be preferable for him to die. Well, I see why they call him legendary. He just got back up again. That is, that's a thing. And never mind, that guy's not legendary. He's immediately deaded and downed. Problem is, though, a lot of these prisoners are suppressed. And the reason they're suppressed is because the guards can see them, and because they can see armed guards, the prisoners are like, okay, I'm going to keep my head down, otherwise I'm going to end up, well, like that guy. So, what we need to do is give them a little bit of cover first, so that they don't see the guards, and then the guards can rush in and shoot them once they're unsuppressed. So instead what we've done is we've left the walls up here in place, so that the guards have to go around the corner to shoot them. And then we'll see how that works. The next bit of the plan, now that we've got these set up, is to do a little bit of testing. We've got most of these people... Ooh! He got shot again. You know what? Let's lock those doors. Lock shut. Let's see if he can bleed out. He just seems so incredibly tough. That's the problem with legendary prisoners. They just don't want to die. Anyway, the plan is this. There is this other feature in here that was also mentioned in the comments, and it's to do with this policy. You see, the reason we have a bunch of prisoners who are in maximum security as opposed to the medium security, like MedSec versus MaxSec, we shouldn't be having any MaxSec prisoners because our intake is set to only take medium-sec. However, what happens is this. When any of our prisoners commit crimes, we have policies in place. Now, these were automatically set up. If someone commits a murder, they get automatically transferred to maximum security. From now on, anyone who commits a murder gets automatically sent to Supermax. Which means if anyone kills a snitch, the first thing that happens to them is they get transferred over here. And once they're transferred over here, they get locked into these little cells, they get denied most resources, and we don't feed them. And then after a while, they'll rebel, is the hope. And then the moment they rebel, we have free fire on, and free fire means we'll shoot them, and that means they'll die, preferably. Except for legendary prisoners, of course, but whatever. That means they're dead, and then they get shifted out of the population, and we get in replacements who should hopefully not be murderers, or not the same level, and that gets rid of the really high offending people who have less chance of ever getting parole. So we're able to sort of cream off the worst prisoner... No, that's... Okay, cream rises... No. Scum. Scum rises to the top, and once the scum rises to the top, and why are you out of your... Oh, you're going to parole. Extremely deadly. What's your grading, actually? How did you even end up here? Oh, you committed murder. Yeah, that would probably explain it. All right, so the scum rises to the top. Then we skim the scum off into Supermax security, at which point they get starved. We shoot them, get rid of them, replace them. And that way we shouldn't have to worry about the initial problem of all the people who are killing snitches never getting parole, because they should automatically just get sent over here for removal. It just simplifies things. Well, that's in theory. So now we just got to let it run a bit. Now that we've changed that policy so that murder gets you done into Supermax, in fact, we might even get... Oh, if you attack the staff? Yeah, that's straight to Supermax, I'm afraid. We can't have you attacking staff. That is bad. We don't care about pretty much anything else, but if you're attacking staff or you commit murder, straight into maximum or Supermax and death. Well, this is not nearly as effective as I was hoping it was going to be. The problem we face is the prisoners keep being suppressed because they can see the armed guards. And it doesn't matter about building walls or what I did, they just seem to just see them. I tried moving things around, didn't make a difference. So what I'm thinking is we make a dormitory, and then we cram as many violent offenders into one location as we can. And then eventually some of them are going to go a bit nuts, and then they'll start killing each other. And some of them have these traits that let them to insta-kill people. So I think that might work. What the... you're grading. Why are you here? Let me guess. You killed someone. Involved in violent incidents? You attacked one of the staff members. That's why you're here, buddy. Alright, I'm thinking we get rid of the cells and we start squishing everyone into dormitories. Weird. The handy thing is, if we unassign them from the cells, they automatically go and wander over to the dorm. Well, that guy's doing it rather slowly, but it does seem to work. Well, hey, they try and make a break for it. That would actually be kind of helpful. Alright, we'll do it a little bit at a time, just so that we don't overload the guards. We want to make sure they have plenty of ammunition. So far, as a meat grinder, this is not really working out as well as we had hoped. I'm sort of expanding this out, and I'm hoping that our legendary prisoner here will end up, you know, shanking a few people. I figure if they go nuts due to all of their legendary stuff of being extremely strong, tough, volatile, deadly, fearless, extremely quick, and an expert fighter, if they go nuts, they should just tap someone and kill them. So they should, like, plow through this population pretty quickly. Actually, maybe we should bring in a few more, culling people. Like, there's another legendary prisoner. If we just cram in and maybe 4 or 5 legendary prisoners in here, they'll sort of cull out the people who end up in the same prison cell with them. That might be the way to do it. It's just, I've been sort of relying on guns. The problem is you can see that status effect down below of suppressed. That happens when they're in range of our armed guards. And we need the armed guards to make sure they get killed. Suppose we could, like, put up walls and then, like, go in through the doors, but then we got to worry about our guards getting killed, and I don't want to risk our people's lives because then we got to keep replacing them. I want to see if we can sort of leave this running overnight type of thing, and it should just perfectly balance itself out as all the scum gets skimmed off and killed. And doctors are healing up some of them. Oh, and yeah, they're all, like, starving to death. We haven't fed any of them in, like, weeks. But it doesn't seem to kill them. It seems no matter how much you starve them, they don't actually die. Bizarre. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's all bad. This does seem to be working reasonably well. I mean, we're still getting the odd persons throwing down in here because, well, they are all starving. So we are still managing to skim off the worst of the worst. We've also increased the number of guards, put in some extra doors and stuff. Oh, and we put the toilet over here and then a bunch of drains around it, just in case any of them try anything. Now, I'm thinking we might just cover all the floors in drains, if that's possible. That would cut down on cleaning, wouldn't it? I don't know if you can do that under beds, though. Can you? That might be entirely broken. We wouldn't need to clean the place. We could just, like, all the blood would simply just fall through the floor, so there would be no need for the cleaning staff to come in here. I've also discovered that starvation will eventually sort of kill them. For example, Stubbs over here is starving, and you'll see that their health slowly goes down. That red bar, as it goes up, is basically their health decreasing. So if we just say grab Stubbs, and we assign them to solitary permanently. And what we can do is, once they're in solitary permanently, we can lock the door, they'll do something stupid, or even if they don't, they eventually will just starve, so long as we don't let them go to medical. What's normally happening now is, they'll pass out after a certain amount of time, we take them to medical, heal them back up, bring them back here, and then they start starving to death again. So, it's kind of a waste of time in many respects. But most of the other prisoners do something stupid in the interim and get themselves shot, but the legendary ones just don't die. Well, I suppose they're legendary for a reason. You, pop them into a cell, then we'll just lock the door, and just leave them there. Lock shut. Done. Problem solved. At some point they'll do something stupid, get shot, or just pass out. As you can see, they're getting more and more injured. Soon they're going to pass out, and then they'll never wake up again. Oh, yep, they said something they shouldn't have, and now they're unconscious. And done. We'll just leave them there, and that should keep going up. Yep, you can see that red bar is still going up. Eventually they will finally die. First legendary prisoner we've managed to get rid of. What are you in here for? Like, right now, we have made a few changes to our policies. Like, down here, you can change what their punishment is. I've set everything to lockdown. There shouldn't be a possibility of anyone getting stuck in solitary. Oh, unless it's a permanent solitary. Why are you in permanent solitary? 97% estimated reoffense chance. Well, there's no point leaving you at... Oh, and you got 6 years left in your sentence? You know what? Yeah, we'll just lock that shut. Gets rid of the problem. We don't have to worry about them hanging around the prison for too much longer. And finally, come on. Just a little bit more left on you. Just, seriously? Legendary was not, like, lived up to the rep. Totally lived up to the rep. Whew. Anyway, that gets rid of that one. Smith will starve out in a bit, and I'm thinking to cut down on the cleaning bill. We stuck drains all the way through here, and that seems to have cut down on problems with cleaning. We don't need to. If any of them get shot and bleed, it just goes straight through the drains. It's just, this is so much more convenient. I think this is actually working. I mean, okay, I'm having to do a little bit of manual labor right now, where I basically grab anyone who starts going starving, and I just dump them into solitary, and then we just lock them in. What is it with these games and having to lock people into, like, sealed-in rooms, like the cast of Amontillado? Well, whatever. We have to cask a whole bunch of them, but it's working out just fine. We're managing to bleed off all of the bad prisoners. Yeah, I think we've solved the problem. But I think what I'm going to do is let this run for a few hours in the background and see if it successfully manages to bleed them off without causing a massive collapse or anything. Oh, and intake-wise, Yeah, I took in another legendary prisoner, but it was kind of pointless. They're not really good at killing any of the other prisoners. They're just really annoying to deal with and can kill your guards if you don't pay attention. Oh, the doctor's stuck in the door. Damn it, there is definitely some bugs going on with stuff getting broken. For example, this dog has been here for weeks. At one point it was stuck in this door, now it's stuck over here, it's just injured, needs a kennel to sleep in to repair, but it can't get that far, and it's exhausted, so it can't move. And you can't tell it to go anywhere. And you can try sacking it, makes absolutely no difference. So yeah, that's been stuck there. Now this doctor's stuck in the door, and I'm kind of concerned that that doctor is just going to be stuck there forever. Can you move? No, you cannot. Oh, wait, nope, they're right. Perfect. Whew, okay. Game's definitely getting a little bit... you can actually be locked in there as well. Perfect. Oh, we can open that one up. That one's finished. This is great. We don't even actually have to shoot them all, because once they're in here long enough, they all eventually starve. That guy is starting to starve, but they're not actually hungry enough that they're starting to die from it. But yeah, once they start dying from it, we can just move them to solitary and boom, problem solved. Our newest legendary prisoner is slowly trying to punch their way through a door, which I respect. I think our workman's trying to repair something. I'm not sure what. I don't know why our guards aren't shooting the guy. It makes no sense to me. But it is what it is. Hopefully he tries something stupid and gets killed. Alright, oh, you guys know. We got a few more fresh people in here. Oh, wow. They finally managed to get him. Thing is, he's not actually starving, so he's going to heal up. If you watch him, his health right here will actually start dragging all the way to the left, which means, yeah, he's slowly getting better. Until he starts starving, we're kind of stuck with him that way. Yeah, we'll let people back in again. I believe we have finally hit peak efficiency. You can see they're dragging out some of the people who starved to death. All I had to do was make a few minor changes. First, we got rid of everyone who wasn't in medium security. All our prisoners are now medium sec. There is no max security anymore. It's either medium sec or super max starvation. That is it. Then what we did is we got all of our deployment over here and we changed everything in this section to MedSec, including, this is the important bit, the hospitals. Because what was happening was, when these people started to lapse into unconsciousness like this one here, that prisoner right there is unconscious and is slowly starving to death. However, if we still had a hospital set up, what would happen is the hospital would come over here, grab them, go fix them up, and then bring them back. Oh wait, I think they just got shot. Yeah, whatever. But basically, starving people now don't get rescued anymore, which means they just come here, they get starved, they die, done, problem solved. As well as that, I've managed to cut down on the amount of snitches we've got having problems with. You see, it turns out, if you go under intelligence, go under informants, it gives you all this information about people, and it tells you here, you have no CIs on record, recruit prisoners under duress, e.g. in solitary. So if people are in solitary, you can end up recruiting them. So I simply just got rid of solitary. Why recruit people into BCIs for us when we don't care? And that just paints a big target on their back and they end up dead. So instead of, getting snitches, who then end up getting killed, we just don't have any snitches. So it's only the snitches that cut up in that are a problem. And they quickly get wiped out anyway. And that means we're left with, free reign on getting ourselves, early release program. $1,800 for early release from prisoners. We're making well over 30 grand. It's usually about 30 to 40 grand just from the early release, and anyone that kills anyone ends up in here. This is just for murders. Murderers are starved. Once the murderers are dead, they're then shipped out. Done. I think we've managed to optimize this to perfection. We'll never have any problems with this clogging up with the undesirable prisoners, because all the undesirable ones get sent to Supermax, and once they're in Supermax, they're gone. I changed the policy in here so that there was only Supermax for murder. That's it. Otherwise, anyone who got involved in a fight would end up in Supermax and killed, which was giving us some false positives on who needed to go in there. Murder just straight up seems like a more simplistic way of doing it. This way, no one will feel guilty. I mean, they're all murderers in there, so bye-bye. Oh, also, lockdown. We changed all the punishments to lockdown, no solitary. Put people in solitary, you might end up with confidential informants. We don't want no snitches. Snitches end up getting stitches, and there's no way to keep them safe. True, we get the odd death now and then, but that's just from new snitches that comes in. Like this snitch was definitely fresh off the boat. How long have you been here? Yeah, 11 days in our prison. Yeah, sorry, buddy. In fact, I'm kind of shocked you lived that long. I think it might be because we've actually been weaning out most of the murderers, so their snitches are less likely to die instantly. Huh. Might be one of the side benefits. You know what? Let's just run in the background for a while to make sure that there's no kinks in it. Oh, and we turned off power to the kitchen. Since we're not feeding anyone over here, it doesn't matter. Oh, and when it comes to tunnels, no one seems to have dug any. We get the occasional false positive, but no one seems to be digging tunnels. They seem to like it here. I mean, they must feel very safe. And how was the lead of that dog so long? Never mind. We'll skip it forward. We'll skip it forward a few weeks and see what happens. This design is the cash cow that just keeps on giving. I checked it there. I did a whole day, and basically we're still making. I think we made 39 grand in people getting early release. So 39 grand from people being paroled just yesterday. And today, yeah, we're getting rid of this guy as well. You can see, yeah, they're slowly bleeding out. It's basically a starvation thing. So now that we just hover them, yep, starved to death. And the reason we got rid of them, murder. They killed someone. So all the murderers go in here and get got rid of. So not feeling guilty about that. Though, like when I started this, I remember some comments going, oh no, Francis in charge of prison is going to do horrific stuff. And I was like, no, we're just going to do it the way it's supposed to be played and do it right. And that was exactly how I approached it. And I'm kind of not so much disappointed. It's just kind of like, how? How did we end up here? I wasn't even... Like, I like to think I'm not an evil person and that I just wanted to build a normal prison that made money, but it just seems like the games are designed in a way that sort of leans you towards just doing evil. Like, but I'm beginning to suspect there may be a problem on my end as well. I mean, I kind of end up doing the same thing in Rimworld, or even Oxygen included. I don't give them showers. There was that oxygen deprivation hotel as well. Like, it's like, maybe I should just try a few games where it's discouraged to do stuff like this, and then see if I still end up going that way. Like maybe Terraria or something like that. I mean, if I can make a base in Terraria that runs entirely on pain and human misery, then yes, the problem was with me and not with the game designers. But for now, I'm still going to hold out hope it's the game designers and not something wrong with me that makes me design bases this way. Oh, and I would like to be clear. It's not like we're murdering people higgledy-piggledy left, right, and centre. We've only had one death in the past 24 hours. So it's not like it's not like a continuous conveyor belt of human misery here. It's just slow, gradual, grindy type of thing. It's just efficiency. Now, what I would like to do is just wait until that goes away so we could potentially sell this. I'll save it there so that we could potentially sell this and come back with a... Ooh, actually, how much would we have? Oh, we definitely have 20 million to start a whole new prison. Ah, bloody snitches getting themselves killed. This guy only been here, what, like 17 hours? Ugh. You'd think they'd stop sending snitches to this prison. There we go. I can save it right there. That leaves us with 22 million in profit, which we can use to make whatever prison we would like afterwards. Though I'm not sure what I'd do. I mean, even if you went with gangs or anything like that, I'm thinking armed guards for suppression, and even if you starve them, they don't even start anything. You could probably run quite a decent prison by just cramming them into really tiny cells, having armed guards patrolling around, and make everything barred walls so that your troops don't have to get anywhere close to them. You can just gun them down from a distance. As long as you keep it below 20 deaths a day, you should be just, well, peachy. Huh. But anyway, this was Prison Architect. Hopefully I can find a game that's not quite so dark for the next round. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.